Deep within the embrace of winter, the world outside lay shrouded under a heavy veil of snow, silencing the town of Eldermere, transforming it into a ghostly specter. The horizon, once animated with the outlines of trees, had become a vast expanse of white that masked nature's agony beneath. A perpetual darkness loomed, the sun reduced to a distant memory beyond the oppressive canopy of clouds. The unyielding landscape gnawed at the sanity of its residents, their vitality ebbing away like breath from the lips of a dying man. Emma Trent, the school librarian, had sensed a profound unease seep into her bones long before the storm arrived. Shudders rattled wildly in the chilling wind, and the warmth from her aging heater behaved erratically, almost teasingly, as it fought against the cold. Shadows contorted in unearthly shapes as the light faded, and she found herself cringing at even the faintest echoes in the desolate hallways of Eldermere High. The town felt cloaked in the heavy fabric of a sickly dream, one that threatened to plunge into the depths of despair. Whispers among the townsfolk spoke of a mysterious light flickering deep within the woods, a strange, pulsating radiance that flickered through the trees like a mischievous will-o'-the-wisp. Some claimed it mirrored the stars, which had aligned in eerie patterns across the night sky, their sudden flickering sending tremors of unease through Emma's mind. Determined to dismiss these murmurings as mere superstitions, she attributed them to cabin fever. Yet each night, she would awaken and lie still. The whispers grew louder, infusing the air with a toxic mixture of forgotten memories and lingering fears. Days passed in a blurred mosaic, the weight of isolation steadily eroding her rationality. As a librarian, Emma had developed a habit of cataloging not just books, but the shadows of her thoughts and fears, gathering them like wildflowers in a hidden garden. It began subtly. A smattering of muffled voices brushed against her in the liminal space of dreams, a fleeting gaze from empty corners, and the dripping, sour notes of unease bleeding into everyday conversations. Gradually, the whispers metamorphosed into a tangible presence, a dark tendril that slithered between the bookshelves, tightening around her mind like a noose. One evening, driven by a wild mix of dread and curiosity, she ventured toward the woods, each step laden with foreboding. The otherworldly light pulsed before her, a whirlwind of colors that throbbed with a fierce intensity as she approached. Clouds of vapor exhaled from her lips, stirred by an inexplicable warmth radiating from that mesmerizing glow. Beneath its brilliance lay a shape that warped her perception, an unsettling fusion of line and life, more thought than object. Suddenly, the whispering crescendoed into a cacophony. Voices overwhelmed her mind, chaotic spirals of laughter, warning, and despair, an unending storm that threatened to unravel the fragile thread of her sanity. Staggering back, she shook her head violently, gasping, "Get out of my head!" Her breath quickened, the stark realization crashing upon her that this was no mere display of light. She had slipped into an abyss, a reluctant witness to the gradual disintegration of her consciousness. The space around her dissolved, no longer anchored to reality. Instead, it morphed into a surreal landscape woven from the fabric of non-Euclidean geometry. Time folded over itself as the luminous figure in the distance warped and swelled, eluding the constraints of human understanding. An alien intellect nudged against her consciousness, presenting truths too immense to comprehend. Humankind, merely a fleeting thought in the cosmos, a speck caught in its own self-importance. With an abrupt jolt, Emma tore her gaze from the swirling voices, retreating as her heartbeat thundered in her chest, survival instincts eclipsing her curiosity. Moments felt like hours as she stumbled from the forest, her mind racing with forbidden knowledge. The echo of laughter spiraled within her skull, the cacophony of dark revelations entwined with a cold despair. As she re-entered Eldermere, she was no longer just Emma Trent, the librarian. She had become a vessel for lost truths, cloaked in the heavy mantle of dread. Upon her return, the town's lights appeared distant and alien, much like the sun reclaiming the horizon, merely a mocking silhouette in her newly altered perception. In the ensuing weeks, Eldermere deepened its silence. Flickering lights succumbed to shadows, muffled whispers silenced completely, and the untouched snow seemed to blanket the town in a cloak of fear, as if everyone had collectively drawn back, wary of whatever brewed in the woods. No one questioned Emma's newfound silence, but she felt the weight of their glances. She had become marked, an unwanted sailor, adrift on a turbulent sea of unease. Eldermere kept its secrets closely guarded, concealing beneath its modest facade an ancient dread poised to unfurl. As Emma sought meaning in worn pages, she encountered only riddles of absence. The alien light pulsed relentlessly within her mind, an echo of a revelation she would bear until her last breath. It dawned on her then, sometimes ignorance is the last refuge for those the cosmos has decided to remember.